returns on CBS.
Afternoon from the KDK TV Newsroom. I'm Ken Rice. This is an important day for senior citizens. It's the first day you can sign up for these new Medicare drug discount cards. Get the website called up here. A ton of information out here. We're going to give you the big major points. How do you do this? Will you actually save money? We'll try to cut through all the confusion for you, make it easy. Also, things keep getting stranger in the Michael Jackson case. Here, police just confiscated from him. And then at 5, can you really choose if you want a boy or a girl? Meet some parents who say they already have done just that. And at 6, just when you thought traffic around here couldn't get any worse, see which major highway is about to be shutting down for 3 days. John Shumway is going to show you what to expect. It's all coming up, but first, all of today's top stories. KDK TV News at 4 starts right now.
Now, KDK TV News at 4.
This is all that is left of a piece of construction equipment. A gas line break and a fire forced people out of their homes. Good afternoon. It turns out that wasn't necessary.
The question now, though, was the gas line properly marked in the first place? This happened on Broadhead Road in Center Township, Beaver County, where construction crews were trying to lay down electrical line. KDPG Beaver Butler Bureau Chief Ross Gadati is there live with the story. Ross.
Now, all we have to show from this morning's drama, and it was a drama, is this, just a patch of scorched earth. And if you can look over here, a hole in the ground. But folks around here said they're very happy that this is all that was incinerated, and here's why. A crew digging a trench hit a 1 1/4 inch gas line. A fire broke out, fueled by escaping natural gas. The flames apparently got so high, authorities considered a significant evacuation of the neighborhood. They did close part of a Broadhead Road where the rupture took place. Now, despite some moments of real worry, the fire was put out and the line was shut off. Oh, some of the first questions including, did the crew call the state before digging, and was this line marked?
We made the phone calls to the 1-800-DIG line so that we obviously know you can't dig without that procedure being done. So we went ahead and made the phone calls. We were cleared for March 30th and April 8th. There was a problem with the closing, so we stopped and recalled, and we were scheduled for April 29th through May 10th, and we figured that it was safe. We didn't have anybody call us and say there was any lines in the way or anything that was going to be dangerous.
Right now we're just investigating the situation, and at this point we don't have any comment until we get a full investigation on what happened.
Should it have been marked?
Well, there was a 1 call called in, and at this time we're just trying to determine what happened from there.
All right, Central Locating Services, the firm that was supposed to take care of the marking, telling me that it's going to be a few days before the investigation is over. I can tell you one thing. You see this yellow line and these flags that stretch all the way down to the house? They were not here this morning when the fire broke out. They were put in later this afternoon. This is how a line is supposed to be appropriately marked. We'll have more with the homeowner who says she has to now replace this gas line because this line wasn't marked, coming up at 5 o'clock. Reporting live in Center Township, Beaver County, Ross Gadati, KDKA TV News.
One local family says it was the victim of a racially motivated attack.
Family members say they were sitting inside their new home when someone threw a beer bottle filled with gasoline through their window. Bob Allen went to Hayes to talk with the family.
I came in, the bottle was sitting right here, half the head, the neck of it with the tissue in it. And I looked up, and I was like, somebody tell cocktail, why, somebody trying to blow us up?
Willie Hardy feels fortunate that a beer bottle full of gasoline did not ignite when it landed on his kitchen floor. Hardy just moved into the house on Calera Street in Hayes on Saturday. Last night, someone tossed a bottle through the kitchen window.
I mean, it's crazy. It's 2004, and, I got kids and everything. My wife, we could have been dead.
Hardy, a state corrections officer, says he bought the house because the price was right and it's in a quiet neighborhood. He says some neighbors even rolled out the welcome mat for the first African-American family on the street. He worries about the impact on his 8-year-old daughter, but says he has no plans to move.
She was just so happy to move, to have her own home and backyard, and then to have something like, she's like, why? We never did nothing to nobody. Why would somebody do us like this? I wanted to find these perpetrators, whoever they are, and I want the police or the FBI, whoever it is, to find them and get the full, and prosecute them to the fullest extent of the law.
Police found more bottles with gasoline nearby, but so far no one's been arrested. Now, a neighbor who did not want to talk on camera said it's a shame that someone would do something like this. And he says, considering Hayes' long-standing flooding problem, he thinks people should be more concerned about flooding than who's moving in. In Hayes, Bob Allen, KDKA TV News.
And coming up new at 5, you'll hear what neighbors have to say about Hardy's accusations, and you'll hear more on what police have learned. It's coming up at 5.
One local man is accused of trying to kill his wife because she didn't want to resolve an argument with him. Over the weekend, Gary Fagan of Fredericktown, Washington County, allegedly struck his wife in the head with a log. Catherine Smith suffered critical injuries to her head. Fagan told police he wanted to hurt her because she had hurt him.
Thomas Hamill is a free man. He managed to escape from Iraq and is now, Iraqi captors rather, and is now in Germany for medical evaluation and a happy reunion with his wife. Hamill is a driver for Halliburton. He was held hostage by rebel forces in a house north of Baghdad. Yesterday, Hamill heard the rumble of Army Humvees. He managed to break out of his captor's house and then ran a half a mile to a U.S. military convoy and to his freedom.
He was obviously very relieved once he realized we were Americans. He was yelling, "I'm an American, I'm an American, I'm an American POW." At a distance, it was obvious that he was unarmed, so we did not have our weapons trained on him.
When we picked him up, he was elated. He was happy to see an American patrol.
Officials say that Hamill is in good condition, but he may have an infected gunshot wound to his left arm. Two of Hamill's colleagues and an American soldier who were kidnapped at the same time remain missing.
Well, Thomas Hamill's friends and family, of course, are elated by his escape. All those folks in the hometown of Macon, Mississippi. And as they told Mark Strassman, Hamill's freedom is the answer to many, many prayers.
We come to you, and we have been coming to you saying, please set our brother free. And you've done a good job.
Every night since Hamill's capture on these same courthouse steps, his friends and neighbors gathered to pray, to plead for his safe return. In this community of 3,200, there's now a widely shared belief. Hamill's escape is proof of the power of prayer.
There were times that I would kind of get scared, but I knew he was coming home.
Because?
God works in wonderful ways.
This is the image, Hamill as hostage, that sent shudders through his hometown, and especially through his family.
It just seemed like my world had stopped. I mean, that's how I can explain it. I didn't know if it would ever restart.
Especially again during those 3 agonizing weeks when no one heard anything from him or from his captors. No hint of whether Hamill was even still alive until his startling Sunday morning phone call.
He just told me that he'd heard a convoy come by and that he pried the door open and ran half a mile down the road to catch the convoy, and that was about all he had told me about that. And I mean, the rest was just he wanted to know how everything had gone over here. And he wanted to talk to the children.
In the days ahead, his celebrating friends and family will hear more details of how he was treated, whether he's hurt, and how he stayed strong just as they tried to.
I had faith that that something good would come out of this. I don't know, I just had a feeling that he would be found alive and well.
What counts to everyone in Macon is that soon he'll be back home safely with his family.
And coming up new at 5 o'clock, we will hear more about Hamill's rescue from the soldiers in that convoy.
Well, things are a little bit better on Wall Street today than they were at the end of last week. In fact, the market closed to the upside. Let's take a look at the early closing numbers. As you can see, for the day, the Dow Jones Industrial Average is going to gain back nearly 88.5 points that it lost last week. And not a bad day for the NASDAQ as well. It's going to gain a little more than 18.5 points.
Local building inspectors make a grisly discovery during a routine inspection. You'll see what they found coming up. Plus, they are accused of abusing and humiliating Iraqi prisoners. You'll hear how 2 men may be connected from this area. And it is pain that is so bad, most need surgery for relief. Now, a new treatment for carpal tunnel syndrome is keeping patients out of the operating room. That's next.
And the week is off to a cool start. Right now, skies are cloudy and the temperature only 52 degrees in the city. Coming up in the AccuWeather forecast, I'll have better details on brighter skies and warmer temperatures. Stick around. I'll see you in a few.
Getting tired of your kitchen or bath? I'm Steve Aaronrich from Petite Kitchen and Bath Design Center. For years, we've been making our customers' dreams come true with petite quality and craftsmanship. Our custom designs fit your taste, your lifestyle, and your pocketbook. At Petite, it's all about you. From custom creation to expert installation. And more affordable than you might think. Call Petite Kitchen and Bath Design Center today. Haven't you waited long enough?
I qualified.
I qualified.
If you qualify, we'll deliver a genuine Hover-Round power chair to you at no cost.
My mom qualified for a Hover-Round at no cost. Now I can't keep up with her.
Hover-Rounds are round for a reason, so you can get in and out of all kinds of places. Over 35,000 doctors have prescribed Hover-Rounds. In most cases, people paid nothing out of pocket, with costs 100% covered by Medicare and private insurance. Plus, we do all the paperwork.
My Hover-Round didn't cost me a dime.
With a Hover-Round, you could be out doing the things you like to do. So if living life to the fullest is important to you or someone you care about, call now for a free Hover-Round video.
I think she needs a cell phone.
Call Hover-Round at 1-800-710-5981. If you qualify, we'll deliver a Hover-Round to your door at no cost to you. Call now.
Are you ready to qualify?
Nothing gets in the way of me keeping you comfy. Neither rain, nor hail, nor that.
At Carrier, our unmatched expertise is trusted in more homes than any other brand.
Who's got aspirin? Anybody?
Carrier, turn to the experts.
Get up to $1,000 cash back on select systems when you turn to Carrier for cool cash rebates. In Beaver County, call Balzers Heating and Air Conditioning. In Fayette County, call Fayette Furnace Company.
This is KDKA TV News at 4 with Patrice King Brown, Stacy Smith, and Chief Meteorologist Jeff Grisella with your AccuWeather forecast.
There is now a method to treat carpal tunnel syndrome without pills and without shots. Dr. Sean Kniff explains a new laser treatment that is not only keeping patients pain-free, but also keeping them out of the operating room.
Like millions of Americans, Manny Sanchez is suffering with carpal tunnel syndrome.
I was having pain at nights when I was sleeping. I started losing strength in my hand when I was picking up stuff.
A nerve called the median nerve was inflamed and compressed in his wrist, and the pain was getting worse. Manny used splints, popped pills, and had cortisone shots. And although a surgery could help, Manny was a bit reluctant. That's when Manny heard about this new device. It's a cool laser that could treat carpal tunnel syndrome and hopefully keep him out of the OR and keep him out of pain at the same time. Dr. Reginald Batari is a chiropractor who uses the new laser on his carpal tunnel patients.
The frequency of the beam enhances healing. Healing time by 50 or 60% of the time, and it reduces inflammation.
The device is FDA approved to treat carpal tunnel, and while some of the medical data is conflicting, studies have shown the laser increases blood flow, reduces inflammation, and reduces symptoms. One study conducted for General Motors had very promising results.
Along with therapy and laser treatment over X amount of time, they found that 75% of the job force of these people were able to get back on the job.
The laser has no known side effects, but it is usually not covered by insurance. Manny says it's worth it, an out-of-pocket expense that keeps him out of pain. Dr. Sean Kniff, CBS News.
The laser, by the way, is not a quick fix. In published studies, it often takes at least 10 treatments to get a response, and even some successful cases require maintenance procedures.
The calendar says May, but it does feel a little like March. When will the cold snap end? Our chief meteorologist, Jeff Grisella, has the AccuWeather forecast coming up. Plus, road construction alert. It was being called the worst road project of the year, but a new traffic study says this mess may not be so bad. And they were defending our country. But how far is too far? Hear about two local men's apparent involvement in the Army's prisoner abuse scandal in Iraq. That is next.
Today at 5, believe it or not, this kid helps parents choose the sex of their baby.
I was skeptical, as anyone would be skeptical about anything.
Skeptical until she got pregnant with a girl she was hoping for. In fact, the kids claim almost 100% success rate. This is the story that'll have everyone talking. A KDKA special assignment today at 5.
Dear Paul, this seems no end to this blazing hate.
To stay cool, you only need one thing. Afternoon. A Bryant air conditioning system with Puron refrigerant. And your Bryant dealer will get it to you. Whatever it takes.
Did I miss anything?
Widener Heating and Air Conditioning Incorporated, serving the North Hills for over 47 years. Todd Peterson Heating and Cooling, serving the eastern suburbs since 1986.
So we call Empire today and get new carpet next day.
How is that possible?
Our carpet comes right from our warehouse, so you get it next day. You choose from quality brand names right in your home. Then we install the very next day. And right now, save 50%. Plus, no payments for a year. Even get a free gift.
This I gotta see.
Let's call Empire today.
800-588-2300 Today, call for next day window treatments, too.
Attention men and women over the age of 40. We are now accepting new candidates for a program that removes up to 20 years of facial aging. The procedure is done during a one-time visit and you may return to work the next day. We are currently looking for select individuals to fill limited monthly spaces. If you are interested in a procedure that will dramatically change the way you look, call 1-800-IMAGE-75 to see if you qualify. We only accept certain candidates. Call 1-800-IMAGE-75 today. All calls are confidential.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes?
How much for this Revlon shampoo?
Everything in the store is $1.
Wow.
Believe it. Everything's $1 at Dollar Tree. Are you new? No.
How much are these Panasonic batteries?
$1.
Oh, that boggles my mind.
How much is this? $1. Seriously? Seriously. Bottom line. Bottom line is $1.
How much for this, Excuse, sir. It was me.
How much is this?
How much for...
How much is it? At Dollar Tree, there's no need to ask how much. Everything in the store is $1. Believe it.
Tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock on the KDKA Morning Show, how to simplify your life. A local organizing expert will show us how tomorrow at 9 on the KDKA Morning Show. We continue to learn more about the Army's prisoner abuse scandal in Iraq. CBS was the first to bring you these pictures of American soldiers allegedly torturing prisoners in Iraq, and now we've learned that 2 local men may have been involved. Specialist Joseph Darby is a native of Somerset County. We're told he blew the whistle on the abuses inside the prison, and the other man, Specialist Charles Granner, is from Uniontown. He appears in this photo smiling with his arms crossed near a pyramid of naked prisoners. And today on the early show on CBS, Brigadier General Mark Kimmett said that the Army is embarrassed and disappointed because of this abuse. He says even if a commanding officer ordered those soldiers to abuse the prisoners, they did not have to obey.
Nobody condones and nobody has to accept an order, an illegal order, something they know is wrong. And clearly what we saw in those pictures was wrong. Whoever told them to do it, they're being investigated as well. But I'm not certain that the excuse that I was told to do this is going to pass muster.
American soldiers are not the only ones accused of abusing Iraqi prisoners, but a former commander in the British Army says some of the pictures that show his soldiers abusing prisoners may be fakes. The photos in question show a soldier urinating on an Iraqi. Colonel David Black of Britain says the equipment and the truck shown in those photos never went to Iraq with the British Army, and he says there are, quote, too many inconsistencies for the photo to be real. So far, 7 American soldiers have been reprimanded for their part in these abuses. 6 received the most severe punishment. The 7th received a more lenient punishment. In today's KDKA TV News poll from Survey USA, the question was asked, were the punishments appropriate for U.S. soldiers who abused Iraqi prisoners? 41% of those polled said yes. 22% said the punishments were too lenient. 28% said the punishments were too harsh. And coming up new at 5 o'clock, you'll find out what other people in the area think of the abuse, including a local war veteran who oversaw prison during the Persian Gulf War.
Hot weather apparently is contributing to 3 large wildfires in Southern California. What you're going to see now is an aerial view of a fast-moving fire that is threatening some homes in Lake Elsinore. No evacuations have been made yet, but some people already have decided to leave on their own. More than 100 firefighters are working to contain that fire. And then down the road, another wildfire quickly scorched more than 500 acres of land. More than 150 firefighters are working around the clock to try to contain this fire near Temecula. That fire became dangerously close to some homes. So far, though, no damage reported. The biggest fire in Southern California is burning at the Camp Pendleton Marine Base, which is not far from San Diego. The fire has destroyed more than 1,000 acres, and officials have told people who live on the northeast side of that fire, of the base rather, to evacuate their homes. This could be the start of a long and dangerous fire season. Today, by the way, is the official start of California's wildfire season. Miserable day yesterday, but boy, what a nicer one today.
Absolutely. Here's Jeff Rizella with a look at the AccuWeather forecast. Jeff, what do we have tomorrow, May or March?
More like May tomorrow, as temperatures will begin to start warming up, but we just have to get rid of some of the stubborn cloud cover that's been with us through much of the daytime hours today and is still with us at this hour. Holding temperatures in check this afternoon, only 52 degrees outside right now, which also happens to be our daytime maximum. Humidity running at 48% with the dew point temperature running in the lower half of the 30s. Winds are coming out of the west at 12.